Hi, this is Dr. Greg Gillum, CEO of Human Fusion, and this IdeaWatch comes from the September-October 2019 issue of Harvard Business Review. And if you are a hiring manager, stop what you're doing and give me like less than 5 minutes. This is so important. This is amazing data here, and it verifies what 25 years of hiring practice has taught me as a hiring manager. So this article is called "Experience Doesn't Predict a New Hire's Success." The research was done by Chad Van Iddekinge of Florida State University. Sorry, Chad, not good with your last name. They looked at 81 studies and then also interviewed a number of different people to wrap up their research. What they found was there was a very weak relationship between pre-hire experience and post-hire performance, both in training and on the job. So I'm going to ask the same questions that the interviewer asked, and then kind of give you a summary of his answer. Wasn't experience the first thing that companies look at when screening candidates? Think about your own job postings. How many times do you start with how much experience is required for this job? I just helped a company with a senior level executive. They wanted 15 years of relevant experience. That's the very first thing they asked me to put on the job posting. And that's the very first thing that most companies do, is put experience required. How did the studies measure performance? The answer is they looked at annual supervisor evaluations, such as annual reviews, and then they also used more objective quantifiable metrics like sales or parts produced, that kind of thing. Most of the jobs came from the services industry. They looked at 15 of the 23 job families that are listed in the U.S. Department of Occupational Informational Network. Okay, so they feel like they had a broad sort of a broad spectrum across the United States. Why on earth, here's where it gets good. Why on earth wouldn't people with experience, especially directly relevant experience, outperform those who does not have it? The key answer, this is where you need to pay attention. Past behavior always predicts future behavior. We know that. We've known that for years. If someone does something in the past, they will most likely do that in the future. However, pre-hire experience isn't a measure of behavior. Let me say that again. This is the nugget. Pre-hire experience is not a measure of behavior. For instance, a pilot could say that they have 30 years of experience, but really only flown 100 hours. I mean, that's an egregious example, but that's possible, right? Just because you say you have 25 years experience doesn't mean you've had 25 years of relevant experience every single day in the trenches. So we should take experience into account, but maybe do a much better job delving into pre-hire performance, and that's where behavioral questioning comes into play. Don't have time to get into it right now, but if you do not know about behavioral questioning or targeted selection, I can make you a better manager in 15 minutes if you give me the time of day to help you understand that. So what do they recommend? They recommend that you focus on the specific knowledge, the specific skills, the specific traits that are necessary to do a good job in that particular posting, regardless of the experience that a person has. Now, in order to really do that well, you've got to know how to do behavioral questioning, and that's what targeted selection is all about. So, bottom line is, doesn't matter how much experience someone has, it's much more important to look at their performance, their behavioral performance on the job. That's going to be a much better predictor of success. And I love the last question from the Harvard researcher. I've been a senior editor at HBR for 9 years and a professional journalist for 2 decades. Do you think I'll do a good job on this piece? The answer, I have no idea. If you like management-related videos like this, please subscribe to Human Fusion, and we'll keep you up to date on all the latest trends that are affecting management and management practice. Thanks.